everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the Neca Universal Monsters Ultimate Dracula figure. This is Dracula from the original film, played by Bela Lugosi, and this is the most recent addition to the Universal Monsters line. So let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see, Carl Laemmle, Dracula, featuring Bela Lugosi, Ultimate Counter Dracula. On the front, we have an image of Dracula. Side, here he is in the shadow. Universal Monsters, Neca, Real Toys. Other side, you can see the figure, a little more in the light. The back side, here's Dracula, a lot of different display options. At the bottom, got a bunch of credits, and there is a barcode, in case it helps anybody. This is one of Neca's Ultimate figures. Window box packaging, you can hear the Velcro as I open it up. On the inside flap, here's Count Dracula, cape, candle, and the castle. And here he is in the package with a ton of accessories. So with no further ado, let's open him up. Alright, now that this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out, and he comes with quite a bit of cool stuff. He has 3 alternate hands to only 5 interchangeable hands, 3 heads, he's got a large bat, and then a display stand, sort of flight stand for the bat. He's got a removable, long, flowing cloth cape. He's got a candlestick. Then he also has a serving tray, a bottle, and then 2 cups with red liquid, possibly blood or wine. But before we take a look at those, let's talk about and check out the actual figure. So this is Dracula, Count Dracula, played by Bela Lugosi. So let's take a look. Starting with his face here, kind of smiling. You can see the sort of lines between his mouth and cheeks. Likeness is definitely there. Dark around the eyes, got kind of a charming look to him. His hair is slicked back. He's in that signature point at the front there. Overall, it looks pretty nice. Going further down, he's got a red necklace or medallion. Pretty nice dress-up suit. Black jacket, white vest, white shirt, white slacks. Looks like we've got single-jointed elbows, single-jointed knees, a little stripe down the side of his pants, dress slacks. Here's a tail to his coat, very soft. Overall, pretty good looking figure, very happy to add him to the Universal Monster collection. And just a closer look at his face and head sculpt. And here he is, broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's take a look at his accessories, and let's start off with his hands. Dracula has a total of 5 hands, 3 right hands, 2 left hands. Here he is, with his first pair of hands. Both the hands are open. I wouldn't exactly describe them as grabbing hands. They're his most normal looking hands though. And then his next pair of hands. These are a little bit more vicious. You could see him being intimidating, threatening somebody with hands like this. And he's got one more right hand. This hand looks to be a gripping hand. Way too small for any of his accessories. I believe it's a pinching hand for his cape. Now let's check out his heads. And I will point off, the head and neck come off in one piece, which is really an odd decision because there's articulation at the top of the neck as well. The neck seemed completely identical. I don't know why they would have spent the extra money giving you that extra bit of plastic for absolutely no reason. He has 3 heads. The first one's kind of smiling. Second one has a pretty normal expression, and the third one looks to be kind of aggressive or intimidating. Here he is with his first head, his smiling head. Then, with his second head, this one has the most normal expression, and now his third head, where it looks like he's getting ready to bite someone. Now let's check out this giant bat accessory with the display stand. Here's the base stand, a little black circle. It's got this large post with a little sort of ball at the top. That'll go inside the bottom of the bat. The bat itself looks pretty cool. Red eyes, you can see the ears, fangs. Dracula was able to turn into a bat and I believe a wolf. I don't know if one's coming in the accessory set, but that should be dropping pretty soon. This will be useful for this set, and of course, my Batman collection. Here's the bat on that little flight stand. Now we have his candlestick. As you can see, it's got this very nice little base. Then we have the half-melted candlestick. Now let's look at the bottle, cups, and serving tray. Serving tray looks pretty good. Silver, a little bit worn. This will be great for Alfred Pennyworth. Then we have this bottle here. Can put this to a ton of use in my action figure world. And then we have two cups. They're exactly the same. They're filled with a red liquid, blood, or wine. All of very, very useful accessories in my action figure world. Now to look at this cape. It's a cloth soft goods cape. Long, flowing, kind of silky. Looks very nice. It's got a hard plastic collar here. And the rest is very smooth, flowing. Really, really nice cape work. Be great for a Batman figure. But this one is for my Dracula. Here's Dracula without the cape. And here he is with the cape attached. This cape is awesome. It just takes any form you want. Very friendly to the user. You can drape it in front of him. Could open it up and have it sort of behind him, exposing his clothing. Very, very nicely done. It's a little bit looser around his neck than I'd like, but it works very well. Here's Dracula using his pinching hand, holding his cape, covering himself up. Mysterious. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, now let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, standing at about 7.25 inches tall, which can translate to about 18.5 centimeters. Now for his articulation. Starting with his head here, of course, it can rotate from side to side. You can look up and down about that far, not too bad. Tilt his head from one side to the other. Shoulders on a ball joint goes out less than 90 degrees. Up, down, around, all that good stuff. No bicep cut. Single jointed elbow goes in a little bit more than 90 degrees with rotation. His wrist here can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. Torso seems to be one solid piece. Ball joint in the waist, rotate around, forward and back. Legs, does the splits. Ball joints inside of here. His leg can rotate independently of the ball joint. Go forward about that far, back not much. Single jointed knees with rotation. Then his ankle here, forward and back. Rotate a little bit, tilt rock a little bit, kind of limited in the ankle. Here's an image of Dracula inviting you over for a nice drink. And here's a close-up look at Dracula getting ready to bite. He's on the prowl. Now let's check him out next to some other action figures, starting off with some other Neca Universal Monsters figures. Here he is, next to Frankenstein's monster. I got all three variations, color, black and white, and glow in the dark. I believe we're going to be getting a black and white version of Dracula, but not a glow in the dark. I think they're done with those, and I'm happy. They weren't very impressive. And here he is, next to the Wolfman. I also got all three variations of him. Then, here he is with the Mummy. Once again, all three variants. And now, here's Dracula next to the Invisible Man. This is the most recent Universal Monster release. There's gonna be a black and white version of both these characters, but neither one is out yet. Here's NECA's entire Universal Monsters collection, all the standard color variants. Frankenstein, Mummy, Dracula, Invisible Man, and Wolfman. I think the next one coming is Creature from the Black Lagoon, and NECA has shown us several more after that. Now let's check them out. Next to some other vampire figures that I have. Here's the NECA Dracula, next to a Marvel Legends Toy Biz Dracula. Here's Dracula, next to an older Toy Biz Marvel Legends Blade, another vampire in my collection. Then, here's Dracula, next to a Mattel Batman Unlimited Vampire Batman, yet another vampire in my collection. And now, next to a couple of Buffy the Vampire Slayer figures, Drusilla and Darla, some more vampires. Here's Dracula, next to a custom Nocturna. This is a Batman villain that's kind of like a vampire. Now let's check him out, next to some other NECA horror figures. Here he is, next to some more modern NECA horror figures, at least compared to the Bela Lugosi Dracula. We've got Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, and Leatherface. And here, next to the Ghostface Killer from Scream, Pinhead from Hellraiser, Jigsaw from Saw, and then Candyman. These are all NECA figures except for Candyman. He's an older McFarlane figure. Here's Dracula, next to some smaller horror icons, Chucky, Tiffany, Sam, and Annabelle. And here he is, next to the Pale Man, the Crooked Man, and both versions of the Creep. Then, Next to some Neca werewolf figures from an American werewolf in London. Here's Dracula, next to a Neca King Kong. King Kong's also a horror figure, a different kind of horror movie, but horror movie nonetheless. And now, here's Dracula, next to the Neca Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover with the Universal Monsters line. They've made 5 figures so far. They're really cool, and there are plenty more coming. And finally, here's Dracula, next to a couple of Palisades Resident Evil zombie cops. Now let's check him out, next to some action figures from different various companies, to see how he fits in, both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a Neca figure, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and work way smaller. But first, let's check him out with some of his Neca brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figures, all from Neca Toys, all 7-inch scale. Then, next to even some more Neca figures. And now, next to some Jack-specific wrestling figures, here's Dracula, next to a glass of water. And here he is, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. Then, with some McFarlane toys. And here he is, standing with some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. Then, with some Mattel wrestling figures. And now, with some Jazzwares AEW wrestlers. And here he is, next to some Mezco 112 collective figures. Then, with some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here he is, with some Mafex figures. Then, with some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. Overall, he's a very nice figure. Sculpt, very clean, very crisp, looks good. The likeness, I can definitely see it there. His articulation, it's a little bit limited, but you don't need this guy to be a super articulated figure. He definitely didn't act that way in the film. His accessories are awesome, but there's some stuff left out. Can't wait to get the accessory set to enhance this figure. If I were to rate this guy, I'm going to give him a 7.5. Nah, he's worth an 8. This guy gets an 8 out of 10. It's a very nice figure. Very traditional, classic-looking Count Dracula from the old school films. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.